old man. It begins completed now. I'm going to figure this out. It's going to be sweet. I bet you I go back to here. Is that me? That's me, right? All right. So all these silly preferences. There's got to be some sort of chatty thing. Quick actions. Hey, brother. Oh, boy. Hello. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, so I spent most of today, well, not most of today. I spent a lot of this evening, at least, talking to Sam and Matt, and they've been kind enough to try and give me the old man guide through this program. Man, what a pain in the ass, because you have to go through the OBS, and then you have to go through Twitch, and then there's all these other things like Discord, and I haven't got it set up yet, so I'm just sort of starting here to see if I can figure out the format, and then hopefully I'll have the majority of this figured out for tomorrow or Monday, because the idea is I want to be able to stream Pro Tools and have the view from Pro Tools, and then also have a stream from me, and then be able to talk. Good morning. What's this? Hey, Dev. Hope you're feeling better. Woo. Evening, everyone. Devin. Yo, Dev. Evening, all. Forgive me for being the old man that I am with this. I got to figure it out. But I just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to doing this. I think it's actually really cool. And I'd like the idea of being able to, while I'm mixing these demo songs that I've been doing for this quarantine project, I'd like to be able to stream me mixing them. I think that would be a cool insight into the process. And this also gives me the opportunity to do some live performance. I've just got to find the best scenario to set it up and to mic it up and make it so that once we do start these streams, it sounds great. But I'm just trying to figure it out. So being an old man is very metal. Very excited for all this to come out, but don't kill yourself over figuring this out. Now, you know what? I don't even. It's like not even killing myself. It's funny. My folks and friends, a lot of people are always just like, "Man, you work too much." But I really like puzzles. You know, I like puzzles with music. I like puzzles with frequencies. I like puzzles with projects. And this particular phase of my life is going to be interesting as well, because it allows me to sort of batten down the hatches and do what I do best, and hopefully share that process, so that all the things that I've learned over these past 50 years I can share with you guys, and then maybe that can help you with your own projects. So let me just see. I'm going to bear with me here. So I read, hello from New Zealand. I'm going to visit when this all blows over. Yeah, it looks like our Australian tour got canceled, unfortunately. I mean, obviously. I just remember Twitch handle. This is Debbie's song too. Let me do the stream of mixing stars for Transcendence. Yeah, I think that would be cool too, and I think it would be interesting as well to show the mix of songs that come out the next day, because typically with the labels and with all the people in my world, there's this really annoying tendency that when you record something, there's like a 3-month period that you have to wait, and then you release it. And by the time it's out, my mind's typically in a different place. I love the idea of saying, well, this is what I'm working on today. This is me mixing it today, and then you hear it tomorrow. I think that's awesome. I'm lucky I've caught you in Atlanta before shit got crazy. Yeah, Atlanta. Oh yeah, I liked Atlanta. That was good. So happy to see you in Dallas. Dallas, which one was Dallas? Dallas was okay too. Yeah, I remember that. By the power of, you say Gray? Yeah, Debbie. I am from Norway. I cannot believe you're back in Michigan. So I guess I was talking to Sam today, And there's a lot of times where people just sort of twitch. Is that it? Can you verb this? I'm going to assume you can. But they twitch for 4 to 8 hours a day, which is crazy. I mean, I think there's a certain amount of that you'd have to get used to, specifically if you're the type of person that doesn't particularly enjoy um, being seen. Bad job choice. All right, Kick-Ass Show in Charlotte. I hope everybody is doing okay. I just wanted to do this Twitch. Oh my God, I'm verbing it again. No, I didn't. That's not a verb. If I said I was just going to Twitch, I guess that would be a verb. But I just wanted to do this first one to at least start the ball rolling so I can figure this out. I think I got an idea of the interface, but it's like 5 programs that I have to have open at the same time to do the way that I'm hoping to do. But I think I'm going to have to use 2 computers because a main computer, Pro Tools is such a dick that it won't play ball with the audio drivers. So what I've got to do is I've got to take an output from Pro Tools into a secondary computer that has a second interface and then put that up. But I've got all the preferences that I still have to go through on the Twitch and what's the other one? The Stream something. The one that has the stupid little Giphy things that come up in the corner every time somebody does something and you're like, hey! Are you running ASIO? No, that's the thing. Because I'm on Mac, it's always, that's the problem with it. Once you have feel for the streaming process, are you planning on broadcasting to any type of schedule? Is that what happens? Is that something that is preferable if you have a schedule that people can just kind of show up? You need to set up donations on here. Streamlabs, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I did. So, but there's a bunch of things, and I think it'd be cool if I could kind of make each one of them like its own little GIF with its own little sound, and that'd be a cool project. I just tend to sort of take on 40 projects. I mean, I'm just finishing this Venga Boys video, and I've got like 4 or 5 songs that are coming out this week that I'm really psyched on. Cheda sang on a really crazy one, and same with the drummer Federico Pavlovich. And then I had Samus play drums, and Wes Houch and Liam did bass, and me and Keneally did one. I did one with this EDM band that I'm hoping to get up, and the Venga Boys thing. But I think taking the weekends not off, but not feeling responsible for putting up the content at 9 a.m. Is good for my health, because I tend to get so obsessed about things that I don't want to. Oh, I should be reading this, shouldn't I? Can I make this bigger? Let's see. Oh, technology. Yeah, I canceled the Nashville show the day of, but that was okay because it was best to cancel. Yeah, that came through at midnight the day before. As soon as the travel ban came up, there were so many Europeans in our touring party that the fear was that people would get stuck. I don't know if you saw that a bunch of Canadians are stuck in Peru right now as well. They've closed the border even for locals. Ola does stream on Mac. Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask him then. Happy to submit work for your collab video. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, it's what it is. You know what's funny about the collaboration video is I got the Y2 mate to download the YouTube clips, but the other ones I couldn't figure out how to get it off of Twitter. So what I ended up doing is I just took my phone and then I filmed my computer screen, and then I sent those to myself through AirDrop, and then I so in the ghetto. Yes, typically people keep schedules. I wouldn't say you have to, though. Okay. I love the Finger Boys colors. Cool to hear. Yeah, they're great people. Che and Annie, they're great. Strong. Vegan Boys. Oh, I thought of calling the video the Venga Buds. Buds. Eh? Yeah. All right. So happy to see you. It was great seeing you in Houston. Steamlabs has quite a bit of freeware to use. Oh, okay. What's up, Dev? Not much. Woo! On the recent content. Thank you. Me too. Again, I've got a lot of things I got to do tonight as well. Like I'm in the middle of trying to get these mixes done, and I'm trying to sort of schedule my next several months so I can be creative and consistently so. But I wanted to come on here more than anything else just to sort of introduce myself. Hey, now I am on Twitch, and I like the idea of it. I like the idea of sort of demystifying the creative process. I think it is necessary. at least to me in my mind's eye, in terms of the creative process. Because a lot of times I think one thing that the hyperbole of live shows and all these things tends to exacerbate is that idea that the artist is fundamentally different than the audience, which is a crock of shit, of course. Um, so what I wanted to say, so I can get back to work, and again, once I get this set up, then you can hopefully participate while I'm working because that's all I do. But I just wanted to come on here and say hi and sort of give my best wishes because I know it's a crazy time, and I know it's a crazy time for all of us, and I'm sure that you're all dealing with the ramifications of the virus and the potential for what it's going to bring to society and our own lives and the industry and all these sorts of things. But like even the empath record alluded to, I think that the whole idea that we um, kind of feed off each other's motivations and feed off of each other's lack of um, lack of the tendency just to sort of throw in your cards when the times get rough. I think that's a huge component to not only my sanity, but to sanity of I think society in large. So I hope you guys are doing okay. And I look forward to interacting with you in a real way here. Streaming, young lad. Looking forward to see you mix. Are you going to stream mixing metal? Yeah. So there's a bunch of things. So this week I've got a bunch of different types of music. There's a bunch of pop stuff, a bunch of really weird stuff. The one on Monday is like, I think it's great, but it's only 30 seconds long, and I think it's great though. Um, uh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. No, it mustn't have been that good. Oh, right, talking about mix. So I mix in a couple of different ways, and one of the main things, and this is the reason why I'm enjoying this at the moment, is that when I mix for an album, there's a level of precision that I go for that is just like really frustrating. But when I mix demos, like the ones that I've been putting up recently, I don't go that far into it. And I guess it's arguable whether or not it sounds better or worse, but to me, when I start going down the actual album avenue, I tend to get really fastidious about it and I enjoy that process in a weird way. If I don't enjoy it, I feel it's necessary to the creation of a record for me to go down that avenue. But for the demos, it's much more broad strokes and it's fun and fast. So that's what I'll be sort of focusing on. Scary because I have to go to work. Hey, Paul. Uh, yeah, I know, man. The same thing. I was talking to Beeve yesterday. He's still out there working in the he works for the city of Vancouver, and everybody's just so afraid about that specifically when you're working in public places. So um, nothing but uh, the best of thoughts, if that is even a thing, to those of you who have to continue with that. Greeting from Ontario. I've just worked 3 consecutive 10-hour shifts. Oh man, that is a pain in the ass. Oh my god. Oh, so Paul says that hold my beer as a pharmacist. So I feel you on that. Shit sucks. It does. Let's see. Do you think all these quarantine project songs will be released as a compilation album? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would think so. I still really like making albums. I really like the idea of putting together artwork, and I really like making these statements complete. There's something about just the productivity of that I enjoy. So I wouldn't doubt that they would come out as something. In fact, that would be actually really interesting if it was just one disparate set of material that encapsulates that particular period of time. And if I could find some sort of, I mean, it's clearly not there yet because I'm right in the beginning of it, like all of us are. But if I can find a piece of artwork that could encapsulate what this chaotic moment and time represents, can't wait to see your mix sessions. Yeah, heavily layer. That's what I do too. I really look forward to sharing that too. Um, there's a tendency, I think, a lot of times to want to keep your techniques close to your chest. But I mean, I'm getting older. I'm not old yet, but I'm right on the cusp, and it's great actually, just because I'm almost at the point where I don't need to worry as much about presenting myself as if I was younger. But that being said, I really like the idea of all the things that I've been able to learn over the years, uh, being taught to others so they can do the same thing. I've been touching my face constantly. There's a delay here. I was laid off, unfortunately. I'm really sorry about that, man. That sucks. The demo tracks on Empath Deluxe. Yeah, there is something about that rawness that I agree with. That is really nice with the quicker mixing. But it's not even the mix, the final mix, that's as important to me with that fastidious style of mixing that I employ when it comes to the final album. It's that the album itself is meant to represent a period of time for me that was indicative of a frame of mind and a set of circumstances, and it feels very important for me to honor that in the most detailed way that I can. So the level of obsession that I bring to the actual album mixes are less about how it sounds and more about the point of getting down to that. Let's see, what can we expect from the podcast? Okay, so I started the podcast. I did the Ocean Machine one. And it sounds like this. It sounds like what I'm doing right now. And I think if I'm streaming it and I'm not listening to myself, I can rationalize that. But when I have to go through and listen to it again, I was just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. But I'm trying to do each record. And the one I did on Ocean Machine, man, it's like I was just, it ended up being 4 hours. And it just doesn't seem super interesting to me. And a lot of it just seems superfluous. So I'm going on my list of things tomorrow is to try Ocean Machine again, so it can be one of the things that we release this following week. But I guess to a certain extent, I was kind of not deflated by it, but when I heard it back, I was like, wow, that doesn't sound right to me. But I'm not going to give up on it for sure. Strapping, almost old lad. That's me. Not touching my face has been really hard. I agree with that. Not touching your face has been hard for me too. All right. Hey Dev, the Axe Effects 3 preset pack coming. Yeah, so that was the idea before all this hit, was going into the studio to do those presets. But I can share a lot of those just online. I'm sure. I think a lot of it is I've been a stickler for the patterns that I have developed over the years, and I, little things like putting the link in the bio for Instagram took me 3 days to fucking figure out. Drove me nuts. That's when I started feeling like old, because I was thinking, well, surely you don't change your website for each one. That just seems absurd, but that's how it is. And the same thing with uploading Axe Effects presets. I think, well, where do you upload it? It's easiest for me to take information from people on Twitter. So if you have any suggestions for me, like, okay, well, upload here or upload there, Twitter is the best place for me, because it seems like that format is easier for me to control, because this is good. I can look up and just see questions, but it's a lot of questions, obviously, right? Streaming your podcast would be cool, because then you get live questions from fans. That's an interesting idea. But then I would have to figure out, okay, so how would I do that? I guess what I could do is, because this records simultaneously, I could take the audio file and then just post that straight from the Twitch thing. There's so many ideas right now. It's crazy. There's so many ideas, and I like them all. And there's not enough time for them as well. I just want to do them all, and then before I know it, it's 10 at night, and a family and friends and all these other obligations that I have get thrown to the wayside because I get so fascinated by all these ideas. What strings do you use? D'Addario XL 10 through 52. I think now's the perfect time to record a Punky Brewster sequel. Oh man, I have a hard time with sequels just in general. For years, I wanted to do an Ocean Machine sequel until I realized that I didn't. You could try playing the album quietly in the background of the podcast, give you inspiration. I had thought of that. That's actually a really good idea too. I just wondered if that would be distracting if while I was talking. What I ended up doing is I was playing guitar in the background. I just overdubbed it. I just, while I was just talking, I just did these kind of things. Oh, that's actually something I could do. Yeah, I got a practice amp here. Okay, here, let me try it. Just give me a second. So if I went I wonder if this is a way to serenade it. Let's see. Just give me a minute. See, this is what I was kind of thinking, just like, so while you're talking, you could just sort of have the guitar, you know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let's see, Open C. Yes, of course, Open C. Everything's in Open C. Michigan is hella crazy. I'm sure, man. It's all crazy right now. You still doing the Devin Townsend Creative Academy? I'm one of the students from the first class. Well, we went through the curriculum, if you want to look at it that way. And I often get asked to do things again, but it's like I have this real hang up about doing things just for the sake of it. It's like I really want to be compelled to do what it is that I'm doing. Otherwise, it's going to suck. It's going to suck, and I'm going to resent it. Somebody went through the Ziltoid radio stuff and sent it to me, and I haven't heard it in a while. I listened to it last night because I thought, oh, I'll put that up for the weekend. But it's like I don't feel the same way about it that I did, and it needs to sort of be where I'm at currently, or else it's going to be weird. What year telly is that? What is the top on it? Oh, this is a Sadowski telly. And what's great is I've been using these Sadowski guitars for a long time. They're my favorite guitars in so many ways. But they don't do what my Framus does, which is, just the best guitar for my work of any guitar. But the Sadowski, I just love them. But then Sadowski and Framus joined forces this year at NAMM, which is like mistress and wife becoming good friends or something. So now I contacted Framus. I said, well, can I play my Sadowskis now? And they said, yeah. So that's great. Okay. Devin Townsend Creative Academy was worth it as a student of the program. Thank you. Yeah, I worked really hard to make it worth it, actually. Ziltoid has a bit of a potty mouth. He does, and it's funny. People have made a comment on the video I put up the other day, going, talking about Christianity or current events or whatever. And I wanted to put up something, but I have this tendency of just writing too much and speaking too much on Twitter as well. Of just being like, hey, it's not me, it's Ziltoid. That's him. Is that a cop-out? That's a cop-out. All right. What's your favorite album to play? Well, none of it, really. I guess maybe none of it. It's not that I dislike playing it. It's just playing live is this weird side effect to being creatively active. It's like this, you have to do it. And some people live for it. And I do it because people like it. And I want to help, I guess. I want to provide something that people, makes things less shitty. But left to my own devices, I just want to write and play guitar, and you know what I mean? It's weird. All right. Hope you finally made it home. Whoa. Framus is amazing guitar. It's just amazing guitar. You could stream while editing music. That's a thing on Twitch. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And again, today was originally just going to be me saying hi and then bolting. But, it's kind of nice to hang out for a minute here. Play guitar. Woo! Is this the end of the world? Nah. Hey, man, love your book. Finished it recently. Nice. The thing about that book that I remember is I haven't written anything since 7th grade, 8th grade. So it's just one run-on sentence. That was a pain in the dick, like making that book, because I remember the first thing that we had done with it, I had dictated all the things all the words things to the guy who was originally going to write it. And then when I got the manuscript back, I was just like, man, that's not me. That doesn't sound like me. So I ended up rewriting the whole thing, and that's coming from a place of not being a writer. So that was crazy. Greetings from Mexico. Hello. All right, suggestion. Check out other streams who do similar to what you want to do. And Howard, that's a good idea. Can you suggest some that other people do? And then I'll check it out. All right. Love the OCD of the writing. I do the same. Yeah, man, it's the process that's so important to me. And it's like at the end of a period of time, when I look back on Infinity or Alien or Hummer or Ziltoid or whatever, they resonate so uh, um, completely with my memories of those periods. And that is in large part to do with the fact that the productions were so OCD. And they often resonate much more than the demos do. Not because the demos are inferior songs in my mind, but just because the emotional context in which they were meant to support those demo songs just didn't quite make the mark there, right? Oh, I farted. All right. The book feels so organic the way you wrote it. So I'm gonna have all this stuff set up here. Herman Lee's been doing it for a while. Okay, I'll check out him. Samus, he does Metallica. Any chance of seeing another past albums such as Terry Alive, like he did with Ocean Machine? I mean, live's gonna be weird for a little while. I think all those festivals is funny. The summer festivals, you know, I had like a bunch of headlining festivals and like all the Bloodstock stuff and you know, Wacken and Hellfest and all these. But I can't imagine any of those are going to happen. I mean, realistically, I can't imagine any of those are going to happen. And they pulled the Australian tour yesterday, which is crazy, just because it's like you set up yourself for a year and a half of touring, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, now what? All right. Keep my head up during this time. Love from Vancouver to Seattle, too. Quarantine number 1. What are the lyrics about? I think it's just about a moment of weakness where you feel like giving up. And it's not that you actually do, but, you know what I mean? I think a lot of times people in relationships end up being with each other because they are able to provide strength as a result of, you know, working through all that trauma together. But yeah, every now and then you wake up and you're like, I just don't want to play anymore. I think that's what that song was about. Hi, Violet. Matt does full album streams every once in a while. Okay, it's going to take a long time to get things back up to normal. Yeah, if they ever will. Hey, Dev, just want to say I saw you live with my dad in Orlando. One of the best shows I've seen. Wasn't very familiar with your work beforehand, but I've been marathoning material since then. Ah, thank you. Did you mean to name the second Ziltoid album after a song from Ghost or the same? I mean, I think on some level it was meant to be in reference to the past. I think a lot of the work for me is self-referential because it's all part of the same process. The entirety of the catalog is meant to represent, you know, me and my trip and my life, and so they refer to each other just as a result of that. How's Moth coming along? Good. I hit a crossroads with it where I couldn't determine if my intention was right. I had wondered if my intention for the Moth was more about making something that was upsetting and provocative rather than trying to make a statement based on my artistic inclination being that. Because I've got a whole litany of other music that seems to be coming at the same time that is it's not a dramatic catalog of music. It's just a bunch of songs I like, but it's not like, it doesn't have like as focused a point as like Empath did. So I was like, well, it can't be that, because you can't follow Empath. This is what I was thinking, was something that was like more just a bunch of songs. And so I thought, okay, well, the Moth will be this massive, gnarly, provocative, expensive statement. But if my intention is based on it being that, as opposed to that is what my soul is telling me to do, then I'm just wasting my time. But it's only one aspect of the moth that's currently an impediment, and that's just the ending. Once I figure out the ending, and I think it's the only thing that's going to be able to, the only thing that's going to be able to solve that ending for me is time. I feel like I haven't learned what I need to learn in order to be able to articulate that ending yet, because currently the ending is ugly, and I don't want it to be that. All right, let's see. All right, upsetting is good. Yeah, if I want, like you say, if that's where you want to go with it, if that's where I truly want to go with it, I will absolutely do that. That's what I did with Alien. That's what I did with City. But if I'm under a delusion that it's what I want to do, when in actual fact I'd rather be doing something else, and my reason for assuming that I need to do something upsetting is because of my own fear of something that I haven't worked through yet, then that's just going to cause me problems. Okay. Did you see the Dark Crystal exhibit in Atlanta? Was there? No, Che and Sam went. But and they asked me too. They're like, "It's a Dark Crystal. It was your favorite movie when I was a kid." But it's the same reason I haven't seen the remake either. It's almost like it meant so much to me as a kid that I don't want to sully it by participating in it anymore. I remember there was at the Superstore a couple years back, you could buy frozen bags of pomegranate seeds. And I loved them so much that I didn't eat them. And they just went bad. I remember having them and I was like, oh, I love that. I love that. I love that they sell these. I love this. This is great. And I loved it so much that I just didn't eat it. I think it's probably similar with the Dark Crystal. Are you excited to play Singularity live? That's going to be a pain in the ass. TV series is really good. Thank you. I like, someone asks how you find being on Twitch and this kind of interaction with the fans. It's super important to me. It's super important to me. Maybe on some level because I'll have to give that some thought, but I do know that the short answer is it's super important to me. And I think a lot of the process is just about trying to sort of demystify the whole process for those who participate in it, right? So maybe this is a great format, but I really look forward to being able to, again, say, this is my process. This is where I'm at, where I'm work. This is why I do this. This is why I made this decision. This is how I make this sound. And be able to sort of bring people through that. And I think these demos for the quarantine project is a great practical way to sort of apply this, right? I can see how being on Twitch as well, you just end up being there for hours. It's already been, how long has it been? I can't even tell. Does it have a thing that tells you how long it's been? I can't tell. But I'll tell you what, I've got a bunch of work to do tonight, and I'm not set up to stream it yet. But I will. That's a lot of what I'm trying to do, and I'll be able to focus on that much better and achieve that quicker if I'm not distracted by talking. Once I get to the point that I'm able to do that, then I'll just be able to ramble and work, which I'm pretty good at doing. And I look forward to seeing you guys then. And I'm going to sign off here, and I'll just say before I go, again, keep your heads up, my friends. I know it's a very trying time, but yeah, man, keep your head up. Anyway, I'm gonna now figure out where the off button is. This betcha says live, and let's see, live. Oh, it's that. That's pause. Hey, is pause the same thing as off? And let's see if somebody says bye bye, lup time, night dev. Someone says I don't know. Thanks. Anybody? Is pause the same? No, bye. Okay, sleep well. I'm going to ask, stop streaming button. Where's the stop streaming button? Stop streaming button. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Stop streaming. Oh, I bet you it's because I'm using this OBS. Where's the any key? That's exactly how I feel right now. Oh, stop streaming! Figured it out. Grandpa Dev figured it out. All right, guys, have a great night. Once I'm set up, we'll be able to have it. we'll be able to have some fun on here. Thanks for all the support. Thank you for everybody who has participated in my world, and I hope you have a good night. Bye bye.